Right, so in today's video, it's going to be a bit of an April lawn care guide. We're going to be talking about the things that you can be getting out and doing to your lawn this month, the stuff you should do, maybe the stuff you should kind of postpone or avoid, and also talk really about the why behind everything. Why should we do certain things to our lawn? What impact is it going to have? And how is it going to help us to have much better swards? But a bit of a disclaimer before we start, this video is not for experts, it's for novices like myself, people who might be new to lawn care or people who have maintained their lawns now for a number of years who just want a few extra tips as to how to make the spaces just that a little bit better. So let's start with scarification then. April is a great time to get out and scarify your lawn, and we do that process for a few reasons. The first reason you might want to scarify is to remove any excess thatch that you might have within the sward. What thatch is just made up of lots of dead matter from the plants that you have growing, and if you've got really good soils, those soils for the most part will break down that thatch and actually use it almost like a bit of a lawn feed for the grass plants. However, we're not all blessed with having really boss soils. If you've got a new build like myself, you certainly won't be blessed with great soils. So what we do have to do is get on with a scarifier and rake out any of that excess thatch. It thins out the sward ever so slightly, but it leaves more space for those plants to be able to thicken up, to fill in, to give you a nicer, denser, greener looking sward this year. Another reason why you might want to scarify too is to remove any moss. All you've got to do is, like I said, get on, rake out that moss, and if you do that process for that reason, get on with some liquid iron, because you'll have removed most of those moss plants. You might still have a few knocking about, and what you want to do is slow the production of any moss spores. And the final reason why we scarify is to prune the plant. Really, scarification, in its simplest terms, it's a pruning technique. It's similar to vertically cutting your lawn. What you're doing is cutting your lawn this way as opposed to this way, and it does thin out the sward to some extent, but if you've got the right kind of grass, if you've got bents and you've got fescues, then what it will encourage is much more growth. Every time we cut the lawn, it's sending a signal to the plant to regrow more of that grass leaf, and if we cut it vertically with a scarifier, it's going to encourage much more of that lateral growth, knitting together a much nicer sward. And scarification is quite an aggressive process, and it puts your lawn under quite a bit of stress. It thins it out, and it leads us on nicely to the next thing you want to be doing this month, and that's feeding your lawn. Once you've actually scarified your space, get on straight away with a lawn feed, because the aim is, what we want the sward to do is thicken up as quickly as possible. Although scarification gives us great benefits like we've already spoken about, it does leave the lawn quite vulnerable to things like weed grasses and other weed seeds germinating, even moss spores that might be knocking about. So by giving the space a feed, we accelerate that regeneration process of the grass leaf. It fills in those spaces, it puts those other things at bay, and it's not just feeding your lawn that's going to thicken the sward. Cutting it too is going to have the exact same impact. So every time we cut that grass plant, we're sending the signal for it to regrow more leaf. The more we cut the lawn, the more it's going to thicken up. And again, it's going to be grass type dependent. If you've got bents and fescues, it's certainly going to have an impact. If you've got a ryegrass lawn, it's going to encourage that growth, but most of the growth is going to be vertical as opposed to lateral. And that vertical growth isn't going to fill in the spaces. It's not going to improve the lawn as a whole. However, with the right kind of grass varieties, the more you cut it, the more of that lateral growth you're going to get, the more it's going to fill in the spaces. The lawn behind me here, it's only had 2 cuts so far this year, and the sward has already started to thicken because it's not got a lot of vertical growth, but it's got a shed ton of lateral growth. And the last thing you can start thinking about is actually getting on and putting a bit of seed down onto your lawn. However, I would tread with caution when it comes to this, because as much as April can be a decent month for temperatures, it's not always consistent. You need anywhere from sort of 7 to 10 degrees consistently for your seeds to be able to germinate, but it's not just about germination, it's about getting that plant to mature as quickly as possible, to become a nice mature plant to help thicken up your sward, or if you're seeding something from scratch, to establish fast, to prevent weeds from taking hold where you don't want them. You've got to think of your soil a little bit like a steak. In the day, the sun heats it up and it holds on to a lot of that heat, and when the sun goes down, the soil starts to cool, but it doesn't just cool straight away. It retains some of that heat throughout the night, and the more the temperature drops, the more heat that soil's going to lose. However, if it doesn't drop too much overnight, it's going to retain much more of that heat, which means it's going to give your seed more chance of germinating. Just check the weather app. The weather app is going to be your best mate this month. If you keep an eye on that, you've got a nice couple of weeks coming up, then there's no reason why you can't get on this month. Chuck a bit of seed down. And in a nutshell, that's all you really need to be doing. You don't need to be going mental. You don't need 1,000 products. You only need a few simple, basic techniques with a few simple tools to get some really decent results. So thanks for watching today's video. If you'd like to stick around on this channel and you haven't already, consider subscribing. It's about keeping lawn care simple this year. We're not overcomplicating it, and I'm going to be posting quite a lot of content over the next month or two about the stuff you really need to have to make lawn care great, the stuff that you really don't need to have, and chatting about how you can get a pretty decent lawn for a fairly decent price and with pretty minimal labour too. So thanks for watching. Like it if you've enjoyed it. The Instagram, as ever, is in the description below. Finally, thanks for watching.